Coming up on this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society, that new Pokemon has a name. It's Meltan. But is it too cute? It's dangerous to go alone, so the Nintendo Cartridge Society goes with you. Welcome to Nintendo Cartridge Society. My name is Patrick Ellers. I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Mark Mitchell. We've got a good show for you today. We're going to be talking about the news in the week, including sort of a lot of Pokemon news. And then on Thursday, come back because we are going to have our review discussion of Dragalia Lost, the new Nintendo mobile game. So that'll be good. But Mark, in the meantime, how are you?
I'm feeling great. I just ate a breakfast burrito.
Yeah, you sure did.
That's kind of the best way to kick off a podcast recording session.
Especially one at night. Like, it should be noted that it is 8:30 in the evening right now, which is quite a time for a breakfast burrito.
It's the perfect time for a breakfast burrito.
There are some times that I want a breakfast burrito later in the day, but I've already had eggs, and I don't like it. I don't like double dipping on eggs.
Oh, you got a weird thing about double eggs?
Yeah, just a weird thing about double eggs, that's all. Like, if I already had eggs once, I'm like, that's it. I've accomplished, I got the eat eggs achievement for the day, right?
Well, you know, I really turned that around on you, but maybe I am the weird one for being okay eating eggs multiple times a day.
How many meals do you consume eggs at per day?
I mean, usually less than one, but I could go for multiple egg meals in a day.
You don't even think about it.
I don't even think about it.
So, like, we could be giving you eggs all day.
Maybe after multiple days of egg meals, I'd be like, should I pump the brakes on eggs?
What's up with all these eggs? Where do you stand on egg whites v just eggs altogether?
I have no strong stance. I eat
no strong stance.
No, I eat the whole egg, including yolk, all the time. But if somebody's like, "Do you want an egg white omelet?" I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. If I'm making myself eggs in the morning and I'm scrambling them, I will do one egg just like as is.
Okay.
And then the second egg, just the white.
And what do you do with the yolk?
Trash.
Oh, gotcha.
Right down the garbage disposal. And then I usually forget to run the garbage disposal, come home at the end of the day, and I'm like, what's that smell? I know what that smell is. I just don't want to turn on the garbage disposal in the morning. Mark, I'm talking too much about this. Here's what we need to talk about. If you can borrow my copy of Sonic Forces. This is a natural transition, isn't it?
From egg yolks to Sonic? He loves chili dogs.
There you go. And you can't make the bun of a chili dog without breaking an egg?
The casing?
What do you mean?
Of a chili dog.
A chili dog.
I am, of course, thinking of a corn dog.
That's right. Mark, come on. You have not your whole life
Press
been imagining.
the corn dog button.
Bwah, bwah, bwah. If you would like to borrow my copy of Sonic Forces, you can email us your address. You can email us at nintendocartridgesociety@gmail.com. You go on a list. It's a good list. It's not a bad list. And I send you my copy of this game on Switch. You play it for as long as you want. You send it back. And everyone gets to enjoy that game.
Here's the other thing you should do with that email address.
Tell me.
Is send us your picks, one or multiple, for the 8 best NES games of all time.
That's right.
Because on November 8th, we're going to be making a definitive list of the 8 best NES games, and we really need your help.
Yeah, because, look, otherwise we're going to make some strange choices.
I thought Sonic was eating corn dogs this whole time.
Yeah, so we're idiots, right? And I don't know where you put an egg in a corn dog. I think you do, but I don't know where it is. So we need your help. And look, even if you just want to say, hey, it's whatever you guys want to put on this list is fine, just so long as, you know, Ice Climber doesn't appear on the list. That's a fine contribution too. We will accept that.
Now, one thing you need to keep in mind is we are only going to be putting one game per series on this list. So if you love 3 Mega Man games, you can nominate 3 of them, but we're only going to put a single Mega Man game on there.
Right. And this will, of course, get super tricky around Mario and Super Mario. And does Dr. Mario count in that same category?
I mean, we mostly designed these so that we will end up yelling at each other.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And we will yell at you, of course, and your choices. I'm anticipating having a good time, making some new friends, making some new enemies. I think it'll be good.
What's the email address?
Oh, Nintendo Cartridge Society
at gmail.com.
And thank you already to Dustin, Adam, and Jason for getting us their picks. If you aren't those 3 people that we listed, those 3 guys beat you to the punch. So, like, get in there. Skate or Die isn't going to nominate itself. All right, Mark, let's get into what we've been playing this week. So because it is our topic for Thursday's episode, we have both been playing Dragalia Lost. I would like to leave our impressions of that entirely a mystery until Thursday. Mark, do you agree to these terms?
I do.
I have not played anything else this week.
I played a little bit of NES Switch Online.
Yes.
And when I was playing, I opened the lobby up, and one of my friends joined us, a listener of the show, at Super Game Joy on Twitter.
Cool.
And I was playing Dr. Mario. They hopped into my game of Dr. Mario. I like freaked out because I was like playing a single player game, saw somebody join, so I was like, what am I supposed to do? Like, how do I what do I do? How do I make this work?
Right.
Totally messed it up.
Computer hail.
Totally fumbled it.
Right.
So he disconnects, and I see that he's playing Gradius.
Yes.
With an open lobby, and so I jump into Gradius. We play that for a little bit together. The game is it was actually fun to play Gradius in 2-player because I would watch them play. And then you can like applaud when you're watching, and so I would applaud, and then I would get a turn.
It's very polite.
And then we would go back and forth. But it was really laggy, and the Switch kept telling me, like, your connection is bad. You can go to settings and, like, turn on low latency mode. It's like, how do I do that when I am currently in a game?
Yeah, you have to bring up the suspend menu and then to, like, the options and then push, like, X or Y or something.
Right. And it's like...
It is a buried feature.
And I'm not in control of the suspend menu because I'm in another person's lobby. Mm-hmm. Anyways, it was cool to do. It was fun to connect with somebody and like play and like applaud. This initial experience did not make me super excited to try again.
Sure. You at least like with rando. I wonder. So you can also use the phone app then to voice chat with the person that you are in that lobby with, right? That's it. I guess I had no follow up.
Yeah. Yes. Accurate statement.
Thank you. Do you think it's weird that you have to like go out to like from the suspend menu, you have to like go out to like choose a different game before you can get to that little like gear settings icon, that you don't have all of the options, like either to change the screen setting or whatever you have to like close out of the game?
Yeah, I think I do. I think it's dumb.
Why isn't that stuff like just in there?
It's the
so
NES
close to being right.
Switch Online just lacks the polish I expect from these experiences from Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously a good offering because it's playing NES games on my Switch, and that's cool to do. But like all the little details around it, the stuff that they nailed so hard, with like the classic editions, is just like totally lost here.
Yeah. Well, we will, I'm sure, play more of that in the future and continue to report back on it, probably forever. Do those new games come out soon? Do we know this? When the new...
No, the games that come out in October, I don't think we know when they are dropping.
Well, the first set, and the online service launched, the 16th or something like that? So maybe we got to wait for mid-month. All right, Mark, let's get into the new releases and what we might be playing next week.
All right, today, October 2nd, Mega Man 11 is released.
I'm so excited for this. Mark, I might stay up tonight for this game and wait for it to come out and then play it.
I don't think it...
I want it, Mark.
Actually, maybe you can, because can you preload it? In that case, you probably will be able to play it tonight.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right because the eShop doesn't like
Update until
necessarily
like 9
update.
a.m. basically.
Yeah. Well, okay, then I can also just wait and play it tomorrow. I'm very excited about this game. Is the
But
thing.
you are going to buy it on Switch.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, yes, of course. I play it on the go. I don't need to like get trophies or achievement. Where else am I going to play this game?
And then on October 5th, Super Mario Party is released.
Yep.
What's our general temperature on Super Mario Party? What is your general temperature on Mario Party full stop?
Wow. Okay. So with zooming way out, how do I feel about Mario Party? The only Mario Party game that I have ever owned is the original Mario Party on Nintendo 64. And I remember loving that and playing a lot of it. But have not, would like grind the hole in my hand with, we had to like rotate the joystick. And for some reason we were all like, palm of your hand, that's the best way to do it. But I haven't really like gone back to them since. And I'm not really sure why. I don't think they really have good reputations outside of maybe the first two. But I'm excited. I'm like conditionally excited about this one. I'm going to a cabin with some friends this weekend. And so I've upgraded my maybe I'll get this to like, oh, I'm going to get it and we're going to play it at this cabin.
Oh, that seems maybe like, especially if you guys are snowed in.
If we're snowed in, we're going to Lake Arrowhead. Southern California.
No,
it's
October.
It's gonna get as cold as 38 degrees. So, can it snow at 38 degrees?
I don't think it can.
Okay. But if we get snowed in, absolutely, we'll have some beers and play Super Mario Party. Are you last time you and I spoke about it? It seemed like you were like, I don't know how I'm feeling here.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah,
is that there are so many games that I want to buy coming out in October and November,
right?
That it doesn't make, and so little time to play games, that it doesn't make sense, like, to buy all of these games that it's like, I have a hard time believing that I'm going to play a ton of Mario Party when the next week
Super Mario Party,
The World Ends With You comes out.
Yeah.
The week after that, Dark Souls comes out.
Yeah.
Like there's just a lot going on, and so I don't have a ton of like personal nostalgia or affinity for Mario Party.
Yeah.
So this is lower on my priority list for sure.
I'm mostly excited about it. I'm interested in it no matter what, but knowing that I have this specific weekend with friends like to play it seems like
that really does seem like the ideal
perfect,
circumstance, especially if there's like a blizzard and
right, and then
you have
like
to wait for
maybe there's like kind of an
Rangers
avalanche
to come
and we get like snowed in,
but like a
and
fun avalanche,
like a fun one, right?
Yeah,
right, and like
it's like cozy,
right, and like we joke about who we would eat first, but like we would never actually come to that. But then like the days start to get like a little bit longer, and you're like, well, maybe it will come to that, and like we joked about it, but I don't think I can eat Colin. Like could I live with myself? All right, Mark, let's close out of this segment. Now it's time for a regular segment on our show. It's time for 433. In 1952, American composer John Cage wrote a piece called 433, wherein a performer or group of performers didn't play their instruments for 4 minutes and 33 seconds. For the purposes of this show, our instruments are talking about Nintendo. So, for the duration of one performance of 433, Mark and I will talk about something not at all Nintendo-related, thus fulfilling the contract of the piece. Mark, do we drink enough water? Do you think you drink enough water?
Can I tell you what one of the most disappointing things for me is?
What's that?
It's when I feel like I'm super hydrated, and I've been doing I've been drinking a lot of water, doing an awesome job.
Staying away from salty snacks.
And still, urine is not clear. Like, what's going on? How much water do I have to drink?
We have not done any research here. How much water do we need to drink? What is it recommended that you drink? Like 8 glasses of water a day?
5 glasses a day, but I think that's pseudoscience.
Oh.
Like I don't think that's real.
Do you think that we drink too much water as like a society, or like that it's prescribed that we drink too much? Just like we have these notions about how much like protein we're supposed to eat. and like we really don't need as much protein.
Well,
as,
see,
like,
I
they're saying we
wonder.
do.
I wonder if like with all that stuff,
Yeah.
they want you to overshoot. Like they're like, we're overshooting. It's like, yeah, drink a dozen glasses of water a day because they know
You're
that
never gonna
nobody's
do
gonna
it.
do it. So like, even if you get like
Halfway
a
there.
fourth of that,
Right.
then you're like maybe accomplishing what you're supposed to.
Whenever we record this show, we are drinking waters.
We are, yes.
Usually, and right now is no exception, we are drinking carbonated water, lemon flavored.
Yeah, we will not say the brand because
We
they're
will
not. A sponsor.
They are not a sponsor. However, if the water bottler from my home state of Wisconsin wants to sponsor us, Nintendo Cartridge Society at gmail.com. I'm talking to LaCroix if you want to reach out to us. But it almost feels like that's part of like the like I wouldn't necessarily be thirsty throughout like the course of an hour necessarily, but because we're talking and I don't know, it feels like it's part of the show, right?
Yeah, and you also need to like lubricate your throat.
Oh yeah, gotta like get it nice and loose and wet and just slosh it
do-
all around.
We do lots of vocal warm-ups.
That's
before
true.
We begin.
That's true. Actually, Mark and I just stare at each other in silence, and then I hit record and just go, "Coming up," and he taken aback every time. I do think I drink enough water.
Oh.
I carry a water bottle with me when I carry like I said, I carry a water bottle. I am a frequent loser of things that like I carry with me regularly. So like sunglasses, I lose sunglasses. Water bottles, I lose. I currently have a PlayStation water bottle that I got at the PlayStation Experience last year. And so I've had that since December. I'm very proud of myself for having not lost that thing for 10 months. I took it to E3. I took it to Comic-Con. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's prime losing place.
Absolutely.
Stuff.
That's prime losing place stuff. But so I will fill up the water bottle and guzzle it down kind of all day, and especially at work.
Look, water is great at work because you're like, you have an excuse to get up, you're walking around, then you have to go to the bathroom. This is just like minutes ticking away.
Yeah. And no one will question you on it. No one will be like, you're getting more water. Really?
If they are, that's a litmus test for a huge jerk.
Yeah, huge jerk. It's more socially acceptable than going out for a cigarette. Like it's perfect. So I do think that I drink more on days that I go to work than days that I'm not at work. Here's another thing about me, though, is that I'm sort of just a compulsive drinker of whatever kind of beverage is in front of me. When I was a kid, that was a lot of soda. I drank a lot of soda, like would come home from school, open a Mountain Dew, drink it. It would be gone. Drink another one before like my mom got home or whatever. As a like college student / adult, sometimes that's booze and sometimes it's just, water. So like if there's something there, I will drink it.
Yeah, I feel that compulsion as well. For anything that is in front of me.
Yeah, you just like it's there, like get it gone. And then you can move on to the next one, which is the same thing. It's the same process. You're just going to keep drinking.
Do you ever go to a restaurant? Well, I guess we'll
I
never
guess
know.
We will, in fact, never know. We were accompanied today by an uncredited piano and cellist duo in a video uploaded by Justin Trieger. Justin, credit your artist, man. I don't know what to call these guys. One guy's playing piano, and another guy's playing cello.
Well, maybe Justin just like happened upon this. And then the musicians left, and he's like, I don't know how to credit them.
What did chase him out of the room? Ask people
Not
who ask
polite.
people.
Not
Justin
polite.
Trieger, Nintendo Cartridge Society at
gmail.com.
gmail.com. Tell us who these people are. We need to know. Our listeners need to know. Mark, let's get into the news.
Last week, we talked about Telltale laying off the majority of their employees and canceling all upcoming and ongoing games. As part of fallout from that, this week the final season of The Walking Dead was pulled from the Switch eShop, which makes sense since, as far as we know, the 2 episodes that have been released are the only episodes that will be finished.
Yeah, and this comes on the heels of it being removed from other digital storefronts as well. So, yep, it's one more just sort of confirmation that that's gone. And Telltale is a thing of the past.
In an interview with US Gamer, Monolith Soft's executive director Tetsuya Takahashi talked about the success of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Torna, The Golden Country. saying, quote, "From a sales perspective, I have to say Xenoblade Chronicles 2 exceeded my expectations. We really saw more people pick the game up and experience it in the North American and European territories than we thought would do so. It's still early days for the Torna DLC, but from what we've seen in Japan, the sales of the Torna DLC are exceeding our expectations as well."
Do you feel like we're a little bit outside of, I mean, not just a little bit outside, but like I played the first maybe hour and a half of Xenoblade 2, and then you've not played like any of it, and we're both just sort of like, okay, it doesn't excite me. I guess it's selling well. I've seen a lot of people playing it, but like, it just hasn't been part of my experience with the Switch.
Yeah, totally. And I don't really feel like I'm missing out having not experienced it, even though by all accounts it's like a really good game.
Yeah.
It's interesting because we're also talking on like a sliding scale of expectations.
Mm-hmm.
The game has sold over 1 million copies. It is a like success by any measure, but it is obviously not like a mammoth success.
Yeah, sure.
So I think that's kind of what they're like. All of Monolith Soft's games, they're notoriously made on a very strict budget, and so I think they can be successful with, obviously with not as many sales.
Yeah, whatever they're targeting.
Yeah. When asked whether a sequel would keep the fantasy setting or a sci-fi setting like Xenoblade Chronicles Cross or X, still don't know how I'm supposed to say that, Takahashi suggested a third option. He said, "I'm someone who gets bored of whatever it is I did last. If the Xenoblade Chronicles series continues, you just might see it take a third option. It might go down a path it hasn't gone down before."
Western?
That'd be awesome. I would totally love that. So I know he said that, I know Takahashi said that Torna, the Golden Country, the DLC, has exceeded their expectations in Japan, and they're waiting to see how it, or they haven't really seen how it will do in the West. From outsider's perspective,
which again is the perspective we have. We are outsiders on this game.
It kind of seems like I'm not gonna say bombed, but just like came and went with nary a word, because I know that it was available as part of like the
season pass.
Yeah, the season pass for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So maybe that's where the majority of downloads are coming from. But as far as I can tell, it never even made the top 30 on the Switch's eShop.
Well, I mean, I guess that doesn't surprise me if other people are able to buy it as part of the season pass. Also, wasn't the season pass cheaper? Wasn't it $29.99 or even $19.99? And the
standalone is
the standalone is $40. So I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if people who had access to the game already and wanted to play more Xenoblade, that they just bought it that way or already had it purchased that way, than people who are buying it standalone. But yeah, I guess I don't know. Yeah, I don't. Again, this is the two of us from the outside being like, I don't understand what's happening here, and if people are actually enjoying this game, or if anyone is buying it.
I mean, I just feel like, like on Twitter, I haven't seen a lot about it. Again, it doesn't mean that it like was a huge failure.
Yeah.
It always kind of struck me as weird that was Nintendo's kind of like September release. And
was the Torn of the Golden Country?
Yeah.
I was like, this game came out in December, Mark. I'll fight you on that.
Hey, are Pokemon too cute to succeed in the West?
That's an interesting question. Are you suggesting that the answer has already? We've already got an answer.
At
here?
least one man's opinion. In an interview with US Gamer, Game Freak's, how do you say this person? His
Junichi Masuda.
Junichi Masuda recalled that his team was initially told that the game would not succeed in the West without redesigning the characters to be less cute. Masuda was confident American players would respond to characters like Charizard and Mewtwo, but worried about the rounder, pinker characters. But of course, history shows us that Jigglypuff is popular among the Richie Roots.
All the Richie Roots of the world. Yeah, that's a weird little like. I mean, the cuteness of Pokemon is one of like that's one of the marketable qualities.
Yeah, but I could see how that's risky because generally speaking, as a culture, Japan values cuteness in a way that the West doesn't, or America specifically does not.
Yeah, and specifically in cartoons too, and especially when Pokemon was coming out in like the 90s, right? any cartoon that you can think of, Ren and Stimpy, The Simpsons, Rugrats, like all of our cartoon characters are ugly.
Well, yeah, and even something like Animaniacs, where they're not like ugly, but they are, they're not cute.
No, they're
The
a little
Animaniacs-
grotesque. I mean,
and they don't behave cutely.
right.
Um,
Except for Dot, of course,
but I
who's
mean,
an angel.
but even think like the Kirby,
Yeah.
right? Like in Japan, he's all smiles and adorable, and in the West, he has like angry eyebrows because
Yeah.
he can't be too. He's a pink blob, but he can't be too cute, or
No,
people
right.
are going to be turned off.
No, I still remember the TV commercials for like the very first Kirby's Adventure, Kirby in Dreamland, whatever the name of that first game is on Game Boy. And the ad had like Kirby there with like an army guy, and Kirby sucks in the army guy and like spits him out as this like blob of like flesh and bullets. And they're being like, he looks cute, but he mess you up. And like you don't need to do that.
Well, I mean, maybe they did.
I don't think history looks kindly on that commercial.
Can you play Pokemon? Wow, we're posing all these as questions. I love it. Can you play Pokemon Let's Go in handheld mode without motion controls? It's clickbait. They're like little clickbait.
Yeah.
The answer is kind of. So there's been some confusion about this, but IGN recently got Nintendo to comment in a little more detail. When you're playing the game during Pokemon catch encounters, the Joy-Con gyroscopes will always control the cameras, but so will the left thumbstick. So basically, if you're holding it in handheld mode,
Yes.
you can use like the left stick
To move the camera around, but
yes.
if you like tilt
or even if you shift a little bit, the camera is going to like move as well. These encounters also start with the camera focused on the Pokemon, so there should be no need to move your system around to locate it.
so any camera controls, be it motion or thumbstick controlled, are not needed.
Seemingly.
Mm.
In handheld mode, Pokeballs can be thrown by pressing the A button, so you don't have to make like the throwing motion. And there is no way to turn off motion controls. So if you really, really hate the idea that the camera will move if you like jostle a little bit, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, maybe don't play this game, I
Yeah.
guess. You've already pre-ordered the Pokeball Plus, right?
I have, yeah.
Are you going to play the whole game with that thing, do you think?
I mean, I guess it'll depend on how much I like it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Or like if maybe I'll hate it and then it'll just be like a $60 souvenir thing that I have.
Now hold on a minute, Mark.
Is it $30?
I don't know. Is it $60? That's a lot of money for a
remember.
controller with two buttons
Maybe it's
on
not.
it.
Maybe it's 40. Maybe it's $40.
Okay.
I really can't remember. And it's not. It doesn't just have two buttons on it. Like, there's a Pokemon in there.
Yeah,
and you
you're
can
right.
like talk to it and shake it. And
I
it'll
forgot
make
that there's a
noises and
Pokemon in
stuff.
there. It comes with a Mew, right? And
I
isn't that
think
the only way to get the Mew?
Supposedly.
We'll
I
get-
mean, money well spent.
right? Of course.
The mysterious ghost nut Pokemon that we talked about in last week's episode that kind of showed up out of nowhere in Pokemon Go has a name. His name is Meltan. He's a hex nut Pokemon, because of course, and a still type. According to the Pokemon website, most of Meltan's body is made from liquid metal, and its shape is very fluid.
So wait a minute. Is this a Terminator?
Oh, it might be.
Okay, so it's from the future.
The final evolution of a Terminator. It can use its liquid arms and legs to corrode metal and absorb it into its own body.
Ugh.
It generates electricity using the metal it absorbs from outside sources. And it's not entirely clear, but the website seemed to be hinting that in order to encounter Meltan in the Let's Go games, you have to interact with him in Pokemon Go, maybe capture him. They said more details would be coming in the future.
Yeah, so what do we actually expect of Pokemon Let's Go? Because you just said that we can encounter him in Let's Go if you encounter him in Go.
Well,
But that's what we think.
my caveat would be that yes, this is my loose interpretation, and I could be right or I could be wrong.
So do we think that we're going to get more new Pokemon in this thing, or
I
mean
don't know,
the
'cause
game is so close to release. At
Well,
this
do you
point.
remember? I think at the original reveal of the Let's Go games, there was like, and there's one mysterious new Pokemon,
Yeah.
and is Meltan that? Is Meltan that new Pokemon? Could be.
It could.
Because otherwise it's just 151.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, 151 and then Meltan
And then Meltan.
is 152.
Yeah.
Pokemon's so weird, man.
The indie Smash-like game Brawlhalla is getting a new character, Shovel Knight. King Knight, Dark Knight, Plague Knight, and Spectre Knight will also be added as alternate skins for Shovel Knight, complete with their own unique animations. Brawlhalla is coming to the Switch November 6th, but the Knights are all available on the PC version of Brawlhalla tomorrow, October 3rd.
A Smash-like game coming to Switch a month ahead of actual Smash. So it's like 30 days when we might care about this game.
This is also the game that I think Rayman. Rayman is coming to as well.
Let me look here real quick because I confuse Brawlhalla and Brawl Out.
Yeah, it feels like there have been a number of Smash-like fighters.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the lineup for Brawlhalla right now. I'm gonna scroll all the way to the bottom so I can see guest characters. I don't know. I don't see Rayman here, but I might just be. So he might be in the other one. Mark, we'll never know.
We really won't. I've already forgotten.
That's right. Do these Smash likes? Does that appeal to you in any way? Have you ever played any of them except for Smash?
No. It's sort of like kart racers for me. Like, I have Mario Kart. My heart only has room for one, and it's kind of all I need.
But that closes you off to Mod Nation Racers, which is one of the best karting games ever.
And I believe that, but
you do not.
I do. I believe it enough.
Oh my god!
According to research firm Sensor Tower, Dragalia Lost has grossed $3.5 million over its first 5 days of release. That compares to $13 million for Fire Emblem Heroes and $4.6 million for Animal Crossing Pocket Camp.
Are you surprised by those numbers at all?
No, I mean, not really. Like, both Animal Crossing and Fire Emblem are more of a known entity.
Mm-hmm.
They have more marketability in name alone than Dragalia Lost.
Right, which is, you have to almost internally like wrestle with yourself to be like, how am I going to pronounce this? Dragalia?
Today in the US, Splatoon 2 is updating to version 4.1.0. This update includes the final new stage that'll be released for the game, Skipper Pavilion, as well as new weapons from the Kenza collection and new music.
Yeah, new music from, I'm going to forget the name of the band, but it's one of the like in-game bands already, which is cool. I hopped back into Splatoon, I guess, what was it, 2 weeks ago now for the Splatfest, and man, I like that game. Like, it's just fun. It's a little bit of a bummer that this is the last new stage that they're going to add. But like, I'm still like, I don't know. It's reassuring to know that I can go back to it and there will be some like new stuff.
And then finally,
final news item.
We're going to talk about Bowsette.
We're going to talk about Bowsette. Now, Mark, do we need to walk through the steps of what Bowsette is?
Maybe the Cliff Notes version for those that are truly blissfully unaware.
Right. So the quick catch up is that in the new Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, there is a new character who is the new character that you can play as, which is Toadette. And when Toadette grabs a super crown, she becomes a character called Peachette. Peachette looks like Peach, but has like some extra ruffles on her dress or something, right? So effectively, this crown turns Toadette into Peach, but with "et" on the end of it. And the naming convention there is just ruined. It doesn't make any sense because, like, is Peachette the female version of Peach? No one knows, right? It doesn't make sense. But so the thinking goes, if the super crown exists out there, out in the universe, what happens when Bowser puts it on? And of course, he turns into a lady wearing a dress and like, black armbands and like a choker necklace with like spikes on it. And she has horns, and then she and Mario can hook up. So it came from this a comic that and I don't know the name of the Twitter user that posted the original comic, but just it starts with the end of Mario Odyssey where Peach rejects them both. And then Mario and Bowser are like, well, we've got this crown. And then like the two of them go on a date. And like It's cute and weird and sort of innocent and whatever. And of course, the internet went nuts with this. And so we've seen all sorts of unsavory comics and fan art relating to Bowsette. And so let's just start there with Bowsette. I would like to get your reaction to Bowsette.
So somehow I'm not actually. I know exactly how it happened. That I missed this is that I saw people were talking about Bowsette and how the internet was going crazy for Bowsette.
Yeah.
And I was like, I never want to know what this is.
So as I explained it to you just now.
I mean, no. I mean,
okay.
It's like a pop song, you know. You live next to a stop sign, and it's unavoidable. You call your oral surgeon.
I don't know what
there.
you mean by you live next to a stop sign.
No. It's like a you could say I never am going to listen to the radio. I'm never going to hear popular music. But you're going to go to a convenience store.
Right.
You're going to it's
you're
unavoidable.
going to encounter it. At some point.
Exist on Nintendo Internet.
That's right.
And so of course even though I did not choose to seek it out, I was introduced to Bowsette.
And how do you feel about Bowsette?
A mighty indifference.
Mighty indifference.
Uh-huh.
I like Bowsette. I like the messing with the lore a little bit. The whole thing for me has become far too horny. I like it being a little bit horny. Like, I'm there for that. I'm there a little bit. But anytime someone is trying to like that the joke of their thing is like, oh, Mario's having sex, I'm like, get that out of here. I don't need it. Like, let's do a better joke than this.
Because of course Mario was having sex.
Of course, come on. You think Mario doesn't have sex? It's called Super Smash Brothers, Mark. And now, have you been exposed to any of the like variations on Bowsette that presume that the Super Crown gets to other Mario villains, like the Chain Chompette, like Boo-Etch?
See, now I'm way more into that.
See, well,
I love the idea of Chompette.
Chompette is great. So is Boo-Etch. If you're ever there's a bottomless well of this sort of thing.
The sillier, the better.
Yes,
that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, me too. So I'm just gonna say more Bowsette and her kin. Thank you. Do you think we will ever see it acknowledged like in an official capacity by Nintendo?
No, they're too smart for that.
They are too smart for that.
We're not
too smart for that. All right, Mark, let's get out of what I'm generously calling the news. Okay, that's going to do it for this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society. Please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. If you liked the episode at all, please share it with your friends. Maybe other people who are, excited about Bowsette and would be interested in hearing more of conversation about her. Mark, are you looking up Bowsette right now? I can see you doing something with your phone over there. You should follow us on Twitter. I'm at Patrick_Ellers. Mark is at MK Mitchell. And the show is at Nin Cart Society. You should come back on Thursday because we are going to be talking all about our experiences with Dragalia Lost. You can check out our Facebook page, which is just Nintendo Cartridge Society. If you like Mark and Mine's opinions, we write about comic books on retconpunch.com. Olivia Duncan made our logo. Our theme music is provided by 8-Bit Betty. You can get more of his music by going to 8bitbetty.com or by listening right now. For my co-host, Mark Mitchell, this is Patrick Ellers saying Goombette's already a thing, so don't bother looking for that one. Are you going to show me what you're looking for? All right. Thanks for listening.
Campfire.